How's it going, everybody? Jack here, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing a tier list of the Michael Myers masks throughout the movies. I got a couple buddies here with me, Jesse and Damon. Jesse, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jesse. That's it.
Damon, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Damon.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we got all the tiers here, S through D, and then all the Michael Myers masks down here, and we're gonna rank them. Starting off, we have the Halloween 1978 mask. Now, I think that deserves S tier. I mean, just obviously.
I mean, yeah, it didn't exactly have anything to one-up or try to match before it. It was just its own original thing. Just some guys with very limited resources coming up with something like that on the fly. So yeah, I'd say S tier is a pretty good fit for it.
I would also agree with Jesse. It is very original in its design, and every mask has followed suit to try to recreate that exact look. And sadly, I don't think anybody has recreated it perfectly, and I definitely believe it deserves to be an S tier.
All right, we all agree on that. Now, Halloween 2. Now, this is technically the same mask as the original Halloween, but it looks a little different, worn by Dick Warlock, and got a little bit more weathering on it because allegedly it was kept in a shoebox under Deborah Hill's bed from 78 all the way until 81.
I've heard an alternative is that it was over Nick Castle's fireplace for a bit, and since the smoke rises up, I heard that it kind of mostly got its weathering that way, but either way, it just seemed like two different people who wanted to burn the dang thing, so they just kind of kept it as close to smoke as they could.
It looks a little bit different, so I think it deserves to go in A, but I'll let you guys chip in.
I'd say it fits in A tier. Of course, it's the same mask still, a little bit wider, a little bit different head shape there, so it looks pretty different, but yeah.
I agree, also A tier. It is still super close to the original, but as we already know, Dick wore it a little different. It fits on his head a little different. Mike kind of has a wider head on this one, but still looks fantastic, still looks great. Still gonna go with A tier.
All right, that takes care of Halloween 2. Up next is Halloween 4. Now, ignore the fact that there are two images. Just ignore that. We'll just use one of them. So,
Blind Michael with Botox.
So what are your guys' thoughts?
I think that is, yeah, I think that's fitting.
Is that a little harsh? Is that a little harsh for Halloween 4?
No. I actually think you got it too high on the list. I
think it really depends on the lighting to make it look semi-decent in certain shots, and that's it. But no, it like I said, looks like Michael with Botox.
But if we put this the lowest, then that means it's going to be on the same tier as the worst of the worst. Now,
we need a freaking E tier.
Do you think that it really deserves to be among the worst of the worst? Do you think a C is more favorable?
That's fair, because I'm going to end up going back on it later thinking, oh no, that mask is actually terrible. Oh yeah, because the next is 5, obviously. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, you forgot about
Oh my God.
I still think it's too high on the list. I think it shouldn't even be on the list. If there is a...
It shouldn't be on the list, David. It's a tier list of Michael Myers masks.
It should be sent back to where it came from.
If I were to give it credit for anything, I mean, it's extra simple. That's all I can say for it. It's not trying too hard.
All jokes aside, the mask has grown on me over the years. As a kid, I watched the movies in order, and Halloween 4 was just so off-putting to me because I was so used to Michael Myers looking a certain way. And I'll be honest, there were certain parts of Halloween 2 that rubbed me the wrong way too because I was so used to the 1978 mask. And, in some shots in Halloween 2, not most of the movie, but in some shots, the mask looks really awkward and distorted almost, but none more than Halloween 4 rubbed me the wrong way. But I've learned to appreciate it more as the years have gone on. Like in this picture specifically, it does not look as bad as it does in other scenes of the movie, such as the other Halloween 4 picture down there. Damon says bottom of the list. Me and Jesse think C. I think a good compromise would just be C. That's where it'll go for now. Sorry, Damon.
I don't think he's sorry.
I'm not sorry, Damon.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's a white mask that's about as Michael as it got.
Yeah. I honest to God just wish they kept the bandages on him. It was a cooler look.
Absolutely.
At least they didn't show the eyes.
Yeah, thank God. That was the problem with Michael Myers, is seeing his eyes. So we needed to mesh them out. It's not distracting at all when he's in broad daylight when you have these gigantic black holes on his face. Halloween 5.
Nick Cage mask gets D tier.
I gotta agree. Nick Cage Michael just automatically goes to D tier.
If I may jump back in here, it's not just a Nick Cage mask, it's Nick Cage with a mullet.
You're right. That makes it even worse.
It kind of looks like Nick Cage's newest role as Dracula.
Oh god, it does.
Man.
Okay, so we're gonna put that in D tier. You won't get any pushback from me over that.
And dog water tier.
That's Damon tier right there.
You're down there? Okay. Sell yourself that short.
Halloween 6.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think it was decent. I think it was definitely closer to the original mask than the 2 previous incarnations of it.
I'm a bit torn on it because when you watch the theatrical cut, you'll see it's aged quite a bit and it looks rough. I mean, overall, it looks pretty decent, but it's kind of... this one's a tough one, actually.
Well, while you contemplate on that, if I can weigh in here, I actually really like it. I think that it looks rather awkward in some shots. Specifically this shot, it looks really weird. They lit it from the bottom instead of the top. Lighting a Michael Myers mask needs to have the shadows draping down, not up. It looks really weird. He looks confused there. But that's not how the mask itself looks. If you see the mask in person, if you own a replica, or if you see it in other shots of the movie, especially this mask, it's beautiful out in the daylight. I mean, it just is. And it is the closest we have gotten to the original 1978 mask since the original film. You know, we got to give it props for that. So I agree with Damon about it being in B tier.
In its original state, especially, it does look pretty solid. So I'd say B.
All right.
Pretty decent fit.
Halloween H2O. Okay, so this is the tricky one because we have 3 masks for this movie. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. I can hear you laughing, Damon. What's so funny?
I'm thinking about CGI Michael right
You
there.
see the CGI Michael down there?
God.
What? I didn't notice.
See, you guys CGI Michael. It's in the movie.
How long was that shot? Like 6 seconds, and that's what we got.
My favorite part about that shot was that they sculpted him a whole new face, but for whatever reason, they just decided to smooth out his ear. So he has this white blob for an ear. He looks like a Leatherface mask, like the Pretty Woman Leatherface mask.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson got to him, bit off the ear.
Yeah, the ear is just smoothed out. I don't get it.
I also want to point out that the previous version of him has a receding hairline mask. That one right there.
Okay, so we have to. Okay, so Halloween H2O.
He's got a boyish face, but he's got a receding hairline.
I'll put that one in C. I'll say that one goes
C,
in
yeah.
C tier.
Definitely C tier.
You can look at it and go, that's Michael Myers, but honestly, the mask just looks super goofy, and like you said, it looks.
Wow, I'm getting offended here. I actually like the Halloween H2O mask. Y'all can get out of here because the worst part about it is the fact that they light it to where the eyes are just out in the open. That's an off-putting aspect, and the hair. I like and dislike the hair a lot. I like when it's messy, but when in this image right here, it looks styled. It looks like it looks like 90s, early 2000s pretty boy hair.
It looks
These are
like
some details I forgot about. I'm sorry again, Damon, but these are some details I actually forgot about. The bug eyes, don't know how I did it, and the neck. Those actually solidify the C position for me. It's a okay looking mask in certain lighting, but looks pretty wonky up close.
And I gotta agree with you, Jack. The hair does look stylized in certain shots. It almost looked like they ran pomade through it to stylize it. It looks goofy. Michael looked like his mask and whole face and hair just looked really stiff for that mask.
It looked like he was in a boy band. Like I said, boyish features and that hair.
Yeah.
Like a British boy band, though.
Oh no.
Receding hairline.
Well, I personally think you guys are being a bit harsh, but I'll go ahead and put it in C.
All right. Oh my god.
Oh, this is clearly right to the top.
Oh, absolutely S tier.
No, it's in a league of its own.
So moving on to the K and B.
Look at that. Like you could, like George Lucas once said, you can never get anything better than green screen and CGI, man. And Michael right here has proven a point.
That's my favorite George Lucas quote. He said that. He said, "You can't get any better than green screen and CGI."
I don't understand the double standard of admiring George Lucas for.
You know,
using
Lucasfilm did The Mask. They called up George Lucas, and he said, "Don't worry, you used a bad mask, but I have this. I'm working on these 3 new masterpieces. It'll come out in 1999 through 2005, and I'm gonna get my crew." I'm gonna get my crew to help you make a new Michael Myers mask to cover up the one you ruined. I don't know why you're laughing.
Because it's a masterpiece. I can't disagree. Like as you said, just though that mask automatically goes up in S tier. There's nothing anybody else can say. It's just a masterpiece. George Lucas made it himself, so you know it has to be good.
No, I'd do it. Put it in S tier.
Straight S. You know it always goes to the top.
Everyone will hate us, but we'll put it in S tier.
I mean, when you have a George Lucas.
Well, what I was going for when I made this mask,
It looked like a PS2 character.
like an NPC you just ran into in the kitchen.
You ever played the Spider-Man 2 on the PS2? He looks like one of the civilians you're talking about. You know what I don't understand is that they already had an over-the-shoulder shot where he's got his hand in the garbage disposal. They didn't have to put that shot in the movie.
No, not really.
That was a choice.
They chose to do it because they wanted to show off this masterpiece. Like
They were trying to show the George Lucas's work on the film.
of course.
What's his studio called? ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. ILM did that.
Totally.
Okay, so like D, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, there should be an F tier on here for it specifically.
We need the extra room, I think.
This is the list he gave me. So,
All right.
so
Big forehead, bug-eyed Mike.
Alien mask.
up next
Yeah.
is the K&B mask. A lot of people actually like this mask. I am not one of those people.
I am not either. Sorry, no.
I think the highest it would get for me would be C in really good shots of the mask, but in all, it's a D tier for me.
I say D, double D.
The strangest part about the K&B mask is that K&B is a really, really good effects studio. And the fact that this was the mask they put out for the movie, they could have had all the references in the world for Halloween 1 and 2. Hell, even 6 if they wanted to. But they decided they were going to go their own direction with it. It almost looks like a recreation of the non-post Michael Myers mask, aka The Mask, is what it looks more like to me than any of the film's version of Michael Myers. It was a really weird creative choice. And you know why they reshot the movie with this mask? It's because during a test screening, at some point during the movie, in the middle of the movie, someone in the audience stood up and yelled out, "That's not Michael Myers' mask." And he stormed out angry. And if it hadn't been for that unhinged maniac, we would have had that mask just throughout the entire movie.
Oh my, and the cameras didn't really pick up any details at all. What it had.
Every shot he's in, he's really weird looking. Looks like an alien.
Blank white mask.
Completely smoothed out.
I was about to say, he's super, super smooth. His head is so big. His face is long. He literally it looks like an alien mask painted white and added hair to it.
Yeah, I think this choice is probably going to upset people, but I don't care. D tier.
D tier. All right. Okay.
So Halloween 2007.
I'd say no.
Okay, so
I'd say absolutely no. That one's probably average at best.
I put that one in B tier.
The hair.
here's the
and
thing
opening.
about the Halloween Resurrection mask. It looked better when HD wasn't much of a thing yet. If you were to watch this movie on TV, the mask looked half decent. Now, over the years, as quality got better and we could see how the mask really looked, it looks like a cartoon. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like
It's like a caricature of Michael Myers.
Yeah, like if Michael Myers got his face drawn at the carnival.
And you ever seen when he walks through the door and his hair is just like all out? Like,
oh yeah, he had gigantic hair in that movie.
Oh my god, that's so distracting.
Looked like he walked through a wind tunnel. I also like how that version of the mask has like this weird eyebrow raise, so it's like The Rock,
It's
but
Dwayne
Michael
Johnson's
Myers.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ever so slightly disproportionate eyebrow.
I think he's doing it because he's questioning why he's still making movies.
He's like, there's another one?
Why are these people still exploiting me?
The collar
Where's my
on the
paycheck?
coveralls. You ever notice how gigantic the collar on the coveralls is? He looked like Dracula.
I was about to say,
yeah.
he had a Dracula collar going on.
Like, why
in
is
that
the
one.
collar
They were
so big?
freaking Dickies, weren't they?
No, I think someone found out that they were some Canadian brand coveralls.
Do you think it's because the dude
That's
was small and the overalls were just so...
No, I think that it was a creative choice. They called up George Lucas again, and okay, we're not going down that rabbit
I
hole.
don't think Brad Lorry was that small. He was the one.
Oh, I met Brad Lorry at Horror Hound not too long ago in Cincinnati. He's got... And so I got my picture with him, and he never even gave me the autograph. I kind of waited around for it, but he was clearly in another world, so I just kind of gave up and left. But I paid for it.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Drunk Michael goes straight to C tier.
All right. Here's where I think the opinions will start getting interesting, because these masks are not bad. The Rob Zombie masks, at least to me.
I agree.
I agree. I think.
Oh,
the
you know what?
masks
I
are
just
good.
realized something. I forgot the young Michael Myers mask from that movie. But we'll just say we're doing adult Michael Myers only, just for simplicity's sake, or else I'd have to include the clown masks too.
Yeah.
So
Have it be the
adult
shape.
Michael Myers masks.
I will say that I think the masks are great. The movies are meh.
Well, let's start with 2007.
I'm gonna give that one a solid A tier. Does it look exactly like the original mask? Absolutely not, but neither has any of the other masks on the list. But I think it deserves to be an A tier because it is solid enough and recognizable enough.
I somewhat agree. I really do love this mask. It's probably up there in my top 3 ever, starting with 78 and then H2 and then 2018. So probably my number 4 Halloween Michael Myers mask of all time, at least to me. Now, there is some lack of logic for how the mask rotted. Like, I don't understand why it cracked up like a porcelain doll. I really love the look, I do, but logic never came into it once.
Never came into the movies once.
Well, that was supposed to be the grounded take on Michael Myers, though. You have to keep in mind, anything supernatural is out the window, with the Rob Zombie Halloweens.
But I did dig the kind of Frankenstein's Michael look of it, the grungier.
Oh yeah,
effect,
it's
and
totally Rob Zombie
the
style.
sculpt was phenomenal, so I'd definitely say top 3, so A tier.
Well, what
Sounds pretty good to me.
they did is they took a live cast of Tyler Mane's head,
Yeah.
and it wasn't that simple. They didn't just make a Michael Myers mask out of Tyler Mane's head.
Yeah.
And then they sculpted the classic Shatner cheekbones and whatnot. You got to keep it Michael Myers, So they sculpted the classic, Shatner cheekbones on there and whatnot, and they did it that way to make sure it fit Tyler Mane, because Tyler Mane, as you know, is a very large person, and I think it's definitely A tier, unless anyone disagrees.
I completely agree. I think A tier. I think of all the Rob Zombie masks, it is my favorite personally. It's not like the other mask where it looks super wonky.
Yeah. Up next, we have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and we have a couple of choices. Missing from the choices is the non-bloody version of this mask, with this color of the mask, but not missing half the face, but it's not too different, so we'll just go with these two. So, hospital scene mask.
Gonna go with a solid B tier on this one. I like that it's shown weathering and that it has progressed through the movie along with Michael and the rest of him. I just don't like how wonky the hair started to look near the end, where he started to have like a mushroom hair kind of effect. It was just kind of weird for me. but that's personal opinion.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a bad hair day. And of course, it started to reveal the face even more. I mean, I know that that's kind of the direction Rob took it in. He was showing more of Michael's face, but I mean, it's a personal taste thing, but I can't really say I like to just see the parts of the mask being completely ripped away. But I'd say probably about B tier, because I like the damaged quality.
Now keep in mind, we're only talking about the hospital version right now.
Yeah.
And the dream sequence.
That's why I'm putting it in B. I probably could have made that clear.
Okay, so I have to disagree.
Yeah, put it in
I have to
sure.
disagree. I actually like this version of the mask more than the remake because I like how it's actually starting to look tethered in a realistic sense and not just like a cracked doll. I love that it looks like it's been through hell and back. And as for your comment with the hair earlier, I actually really like that. I like how the hair is seeming to like come unhinged from the top of the head and it's becoming a mess. I actually love that look. And that image of Michael Myers for the longest time, that Halloween 2 hospital sequence, that image was everywhere on all the merchandise, on all the marketing. But I actually like it more than the remake mask, but it seems like I am in the minority, so it looks like it's going to be going in B unless I can get you guys to reconsider your opinions.
I mean, he looks pretty mean in it. Can kind of bounce back and forth depending on how I feel, but at the same time, I haven't watched Halloween 2 remake sequel in a long time, so if I rewatched it, maybe I'd be like, oh, that does look kind of cool. It's just been a while.
Yeah, sometimes I watch it every now and then just because I feel like torturing myself, but
That'll do it.
we'll just settle and call that B tier. Okay, so moving on to the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 half mask. Oh, where'd that one go?
That
that
was
D.
4. That's a D.
my bad.
That was the first one.
Okay, so
I'm gonna be honest here. I think that's like C. I don't like that there's so much of Michael's face being exposed. I don't like the hood aspect of it. I know that's not the entire look through the movie. I don't know. Seeing part of Michael's face, it just feels like it takes away the allure of the character. And I liked the weathering and I liked the damage. I just don't like now that half of his face is hanging out.
Gives me that feeling of, hey, look, it's Tyler Mane. He played Sabretooth.
until he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Damon, playing off of what you said about the face being exposed, I do think that takes away from the creep factor. Not knowing what's behind the mask is part of the scariest part about Michael Myers. When you expose half of the face, you lose a lot of the mystique behind the character, like you said. But I have to disagree about the hood. I actually really like the hood. And when he's shot, when he's in certain lighting, and you can't see the other half of the face, that is some of the coolest shots of Michael Myers, I think, in the entire franchise. I think the hood benefits the look.
I can see that and somewhat agree with it. I feel like compared to every other Michael who never had a hood, suddenly just throwing a hood on him with that big hunting puffer coat, whatever he was wearing, it didn't feel as much as Michael to me. It felt more like Rob Zombie putting the boots on instead of Michael. But that's personal opinion.
It was definitely like you were watching a different movie for at least half of the time. I mean, even when you saw Michael on screen putting on the mask, it still didn't really seem like Michael Myers at that point.
Are we gonna call this a C?
Yep, I'm agreeing with C. I don't think that it's so horrible that it belongs in D tier, but I definitely don't think it's one of the better masks.
No, because there are worse options, much less inspired options, but at the same time, nah, backwoods, redneck, hobo Myers doesn't get up there.
Well, keep in mind, I think it's a little harsh because look at what it's with.
I think those are completely reasonable.
Like I said,
Okay, we're gonna say Halloween H2O and Resurrection is the same as that.
Yeah, I am.
Jesse, do you agree or disagree?
I mean, you can put it where you want to, cause...
Oh no, we all have to. It's a voting system here.
Yeah, I know, I'm just opting out. This one's a bit of a strange one, because the least like all the rest of them. Comparing it to the other ones, maybe B.
Take that, Damon.
Yeah, take half agreeing.
I love democracy. I love the Republic.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Down with democracy.
I understand. So Halloween 2018.
I'm gonna come heavy straight out the gate. I'm gonna say that it's a solid S tier, and that may ruffle some feathers, but I definitely think that is the best other Myers mask. And considering the age and weathering that it was supposed to be in, and the fact that it was held by the police records, and then somehow some podcast people got a hold of it. I don't know how that happened, but I definitely
He had a friend at the Attorney General's office who had the Michael Myers mask.
Anyway,
Also convenient.
I still say it's a solid S. I think compared to the original mask, you can look and go, yep, that's an aged Michael Myers mask, and it looks fantastic. All the shots that they used were great. It screams Halloween to me.
Okay. Jesse?
I'd say about A tier, probably. I don't necessarily put it as high because it looks better than what an actual realistic take on decaying latex would look like. But overall, it looks more like an aged Michael. And that can be a double-edged sword, but it looks the most like the Shatner mask out of most of the rest of them since, so maybe A.
Speaking of Shatner, do you guys know about that app? It's called FaceApp, and you can put a picture in there and you can age it up. Well, there's a feature to make it fat. You can make like a face fat. If you take the original 1978 Michael Myers mask and you make it fat, I swear on my life, it looks just like William Shatner now. And I'll show you guys when we're done with this. I'll prove it. Okay, so my take on the Halloween 2018 mask. I love it. I love it so much because it's the first time it's actually looked like Michael Myers since 1978 and arguably Halloween 2. Every other mask after looks like an interpretation of Michael Myers or a recreation of Michael Myers. This looks like a seamless transition, whereas the other ones you can clearly look at them and think, oh, that's not the same mask. They try to pretend like it's the same mask used in 78, but I don't know. You look at Resurrection and tell me that's the same mask from 1978.
In universe, it makes a good deal of sense, though, that you go after the same mask to recreate that night rather than just finding random white masks and doing it that way. It just seems pretty
Yeah,
weird.
I agree with you. It was pretty convenient that he was able to pick up a brand new mask in Halloween 4. I mean, what are the odds that 10 years later, the exact same mask is sitting there in a pharmacy of all the places?
In Haddonfield?
Yeah, in Haddonfield, where, there's no bad blood with that mask or anything.
Nope, totally. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I genuinely like that it's not just rot, but it also has aging on it. And that's eerie to me because it aged simultaneously to Michael Myers. Like, the evil deeds he committed while wearing that mask are somehow linked to him. And I love how all the animals and the inmates react when the mask is brought out. Like, the essence just carried this dark energy with it.
You definitely get the feeling that he's connected to it. As soon as they bring it into his vicinity, it's immediate connection, and he has to get that mask.
All right, so Damon, you say S tier. Jesse says A tier. I gotta go with S tier as well. I'll be honest. It just, you look at it, that is a great mask. Michael Myers masks, you might not know this, but it's all about the eyes. And you get those eyes right, and you got Michael Myers. Now, you look at the eyes on the rest of these masks, and you don't even have like
Age 20,
And then the fact
age
that
20,
and I don't even like, you got these ovals.
and the resurrection.
You got triangles.
And with the resurrection mask, you can see like makeup around his eyes.
Oh yeah, Batman style.
And it's just
Laurie's in the way.
I just imagine Michael putting on the makeup. He just gets it in his eyes. All the day.
He starts swinging the scalpel around like in Halloween 2. I got makeup in my eye.
Here comes Busta Rhymes.
oh no.
Why is Busta Rhymes there?
Because he just sensed Michael's vulnerability and he just dives in.
Because that's his arch nemesis in the franchise.
It's the only dude who
Laurie-
ever got a one-up on Michael.
Who's
Michael.
Dr. Loomis?
Who? Laurie Strode. Busta Rhymes is
What?
the anti-Myers. Imagine they do a 40 years sequel to Halloween Resurrection. You got an old Busta Rhymes talking. He's now in the Loomis role, and he's dedicated his life to Michael Myers. And imagine like this old gray Busta Rhymes. He's like back in the backyard, like Lori shooting the targets, and then you do the epic trailer, trick or treat, epic pause, mother. And then it would be amazing.
And then they play a slow, epic version of the Myers theme. And it just like echoes.
Half of the poster is Michael Myers' face, the other half is Busta Rhymes.
Michael's here to bust some
treat,
heads,
motherfucker.
but I'm here to bust some rhymes.
We're still back on Resurrection.
Oh, look.
He zaps him in the balls again. You can't have Tyra Banks back because she's dead.
She comes back as a ghost, like Michael's mom and the sequel make.
She can have a cameo. So Halloween Kills. How do you guys feel about Halloween Kills? The Mask.
I liked the direction that the mask was going. I think it looks good, but in my personal opinion, I'd put it in B or A tier.
I think it's good for a Michael that looks like he's been going through hell. So, I mean, it's fine. I mean, that's definitely not the weakest part of the movie. But I say it is inferior to the predecessor, so probably have to be A or B.
Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. It's just fine. You know, it's nothing mind-blowing. It's cool. You get the 2018 mask, and now it's got some burn damage on it. It's nothing new. It's more of the same with a little bit of weathering. Not that that's a bad thing. I just think it's pretty good.
I think it could have been better. I think the direction that they were going with the burn damage was great, but just the execution wasn't all the way there. Still a good looking mask, just could have been better. Not completely horrible though.
Yeah, I think I agree. Now, I think I personally I like when they go over the top. I would have loved to have seen it like burned into his skull or something. But I guess
that'd have been rad.
I think that's just like the edgelord in me.
We were long overdue for that kind of take anyway. I mean, that trilogy was pretty edgelord.
That's what Halloween 4
People
should play.
call Rob Zombie's, I mean, justly so, but they call Rob Zombie's work very edgy, but David Gordon Green's trilogy was definitely edgy.
Evil dies tonight, Jesse.
I heard that a million times.
He's turning us into monsters.
He's turning us into monsters.
Tommy!
You remember?
Tommy!
You remember when they bullied some poor, like, mentally challenged
This
person?
dude-
Yeah, remember when Danny DeVito's penguin showed up? He was running around.
He didn't
And they were like,
fight
there's
anybody
Michael
else.
Myers. And remember when Haddonfield wasn't so stupid that you could dress like Michael Myers and they knew what you were supposed to be dressed like? You could, in Halloween 4 when everybody's wearing the Michael Myers mask, you're like, you better stop playing those jokes, you rascals. Because everyone knows what Michael Myers was supposed to look like, even after just one night of Halloween shenanigans. But now apparently they've devolved so much mentally that they think Danny DeVito's penguin is Michael Myers.
Yeah, that's the man who
They-
everyone was so afraid of.
They gather a bigger crowd than the Capitol riot to chase Danny DeVito down, but he throws himself through the window because he's like, all these crazy people are coming after me, and the sheriff just sits on the stairs like, man, I got fat in between movies, I'm not running anymore.
That was such a... No, I'm going to end up going on a tangent about how wasted the sheriff was. Forget that.
Oh, he was such a useless character.
Yeah, like they should have just made, friggin', what was his name? Will Patton's character? The deputy?
I can't remember his name.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was just about as useful as
They
the
wasted
sheriff.
him in the end too, but they should have just made him sheriff. It was, Hawkins.
Oh yeah, Hawkins.
Yeah, he was there on the night that he shot somebody in the neck.
Another mask that's missing from this list is the flashback mask from Halloween Kills. We'll give that an honorable mention because I don't know if it should count.
It's literally supposed to be the 78 mask.
And it's fine. I think we can all agree on that. It's fine.
Briefly shows up and it does the job. That's all that matters.
It's fine. We'll just give it a fine. Now, Halloween Kills. What? A, B, what?
I say B. I say that it's pretty mid for everything that it was supposed to be, in all honesty.
It gradually devolved. Yeah, I'm actually kind of conflicted on this one too.
A or B, Jesse. You gotta make a choice.
It just works. I can't say that it's super impressive. It just works. It's just a damaged mask. It looks pretty cool, but it's nothing too exciting. I'd say just put it in B.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right.
That's my opinion on the sequel.
These two images, the escape mask. I thought about doing all the masks in the Rob Zombie movie, but I thought we'd be here all day because there's so many masks. We're just doing the classic masks. So Halloween Ends.
I'm probably gonna have to put that one in C tier, all honesty. I think that it looks super weird. Like the lighting on it always made it look like, I don't know, it just looked funky. I understand that he was supposed to be living in a sewer and that his hair got matted and he's got cobwebs on him, but that doesn't seem very fitting of Michael. He's supposed to be this unstoppable boogeyman, the terror of the night, and now he's hiding in a sewer getting beat up on by a 14-year-old.
It fits the state of the franchise, okay? It's in decay. We'll put it in C tier, though. I think that's a good fit for it. That fits quite snug.
Michael Myers is the state of the franchise, and so they find him all beaten up and withered away.
Yeah.
And when Corey Cunningham beat him up and stole his mask, that was David Gordon Green taking the franchise and having his way with it.
Yeah, he just bullied an old man.
And all Michael Myers could do is sit there and submit.
Imagine being like 80 years old, getting shot, stabbed, ran over, and all these other things, and then this 14-year-old kid beats up on you and steals your mask and pretends to beat you.
He just shows it back up at the end of the movie like, oh, here I am.
Yeah, remember when he showed up at the end of the movie for no reason?
Because they couldn't commit to the
they really wanted to take a new direction with the franchise all the way up until they didn't.
Oh no, there was a reason. There was a reason for him being there. It's so that we could all watch him finally die.
And it was goofy.
Now, we've never seen Michael Myers die before.
No.
No, they had to really kill him this time.
Not
Break his arm, friggin' split his hand. What else did they do?
They broke his leg too.
Threw a refrigerator at this
Threw
guy.
a refrigerator at him. The finale of the movie takes place in like this really cramped kitchen set.
Yeah.
Remember when the daughter runs in and she's like, no! And like they had to just shoot it like a sitcom because there's only like two directions the camera could move.
And she just grabs his arm and breaks it.
Yeah, she breaks Michael Myers' arm.
Like she's Batman. It's almost like there were too many cooks in the kitchen.
You had the cooks being David Gordon Green and then everyone losing their minds in the studio saying, why are you doing this to our profitable Michael Myers franchise? We have one draw to these movies and it's Michael Myers and you're trying to turn him into another character. They react that way every time. They react that way with Halloween 4 with Jamie, and they're like, "No, bring back Michael." Every time they do this, and this was the one movie it was supposed to be another character, and they couldn't devote. It was pathetic. It was pathetic. You either go all the way or don't do something different. If you can't do something different, make another safe Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Don't pretend you're being creative and outlandish. If you're just gonna fall back on the same old tropes at the last second.
I would have liked to seen a Jason Goes to Hell moment where Corey rips his heart out and eats it so he could be
That happened.
Michael. Oh, that happened. I'm sorry I missed that in the movie. My bad.
Deleted scene.
No, that was in the movie.
Just rips his heart out.
But we're talking about the mask here.
Oh, were we?
Yeah, I think the mask is like inoffensive. Like it's just the Halloween Kills mask with mold on it.
And spiderweb jizz.
Spiderweb jizz.
Like whatever's on the side.
Spider jizz.
Where are we putting this mask?
I'm putting it in C tier, honestly.
Yeah, we're putting it in average.
But it's just the Halloween Kills mask.
Just the.
Put it there. Put it there.
Yeah, but we got to see it for like 6 seconds, dude.
What? We see it through the movie. It wasn't just. It just
Corey wears the mask more often than Michael, and that's the off-putting part. Is the fact that that's not Michael wearing that mask most of the time. It's Corey who beat up an old man and took it.
You remember that scene where Corey and Michael do like a Batman and Robin team up in the doctor's house, and he was killing the doctor in the shadows, and she couldn't hear anything. He was like all secret. He was covering the mouth. And then she turns on the light, and then all of a sudden the audio gets blasted up to 100, and then all of a sudden now the stabbing's making so much noise.
Oh, right. And here's what bugs me is they couldn't have picked a more eerie mask. Instead, they picked this kid mask.
Whatever.
Like,
I was fine with the scarecrow mask. I was fine with it.
Nah.
I thought there's going to be some meaning behind that mask. The Michael Myers mask is exactly what Loomis describes to Sheriff Brackett. Just blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes. And that's the mask. What's Corey's mask? Does it mean anything? Because he's a scarecrow.
He's a scaredy.
He doesn't get along with birds?
He's a Batman villain.
You're right. He uses fear gas to make people think Michael's actually there, but he's not. It was all the Christine footage that hit the cutting room floor.
They literally just ripped the plot from Christine and put it in this movie.
Uh-huh.
So remember the opening where the kid flops on the floor and it's shot comedically where the mom's like, "What was that?"
This is a Wilhelm scream.
And
it's up. I mean, am I remembering wrong? I'm pretty sure they had the Wilhelm scream pitched up.
Did they really?
I think.
I don't remember. That entire movie was like an acid trip. Like, it didn't even make sense.
It was just, I kept asking myself, what is happening?
I would have respected the movie hardcore. It would probably be one of my favorite in the franchise if they had devoted to the Corey plot. But they had to have Michael.
They copped out at like the very last
It's
minute.
a very cowardice thing to do. You can't say you're doing something different and then fall back on the same old tricks. That's cheap.
I would have also respected the Halloween 3 font they used if they actually did commit to it.
You know, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because that's like, okay, so we got Halloween, and then the sequel, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Ends. It's not the third. You should have put the Halloween 3 font in Halloween Kills.
Oh no, but David Gordon Green's trilogy is its own thing. It's definitely not building off.
It literally uses footage from the first movie. They even use footage from Halloween 2.
No, it's his own trilogy.
It uses footage from Halloween 2 and Halloween Kills because they didn't have any footage of Brackett's daughter's body.
I remember that, and it is.
So they used the footage where they cover her eyes and she blinks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they put that in a 2021 movie. Okay, so this is the list. Any second thoughts about anything?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. The dream sequence mask, I think, may need to go a little higher.
Thank you. So, thank God.
Sitting here thinking about it, though the mushroom hair looks a little goofy, I do agree with you. The fact that it's splitting open and that it's continuing to rot and that it continues to progress and gets worse as long as Michael's getting worse. I do agree with it, and thinking about what you said, I can move it up to A tier. I can move it up.
I can give you that one, sure.
Okay, so people are going to be really mad at us about the Halloween Kills mask.
Well, it's not like they're bad masks. It's not like we're saying they're garbage, but they could have been so much better. Like compared to the 2018 mask that's sitting comfortably in S, there's no reason that the two follow-up masks shouldn't have been able to do the same. There was just lackluster creativity.
Look at it this way. I mean, since we were talking about the dream sequence mask there in the hospital scene, I mean, they already did the decaying Michael mask.
Yeah, but it clearly is its own mask, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they clearly did the decaying mask before, and then these films just did the same thing, and it's like,
It's not enough.
Yeah.
He was engulfed in flames.
If you're gonna have him burn, then you definitely want to show him more.
But yeah, when I was at Horror Hound Weekend in Cincinnati, there was like 8 or 9 Halloween Kills Michael Myers.
I agree with Jack. I feel like if the mask was like burned to his face and then he couldn't take it off and that kind of weathering was added, I think it would have
I don't think you would even have to go that far. But if you have a latex mask engulfed in flames, there would be more damage.
Yeah. He was down there for like a solid.
Or at least some melt, like if the side that was burned was like drooping and melting.
Yeah, that would be great.
Free falling off, that would have made it.
That would have been cool.
That would have put it definitely in A tier, maybe even S tier.
I personally think this deserves to be an A tier, but I got beat out in the vote. But I'd also like to remind you guys that we got the Halloween 4 mask below the Resurrection and H2O mask.
I'm still sitting firmly on that. I'm still sitting firmly on that. If there's 2 masks that I would just take off the tier list, it's part 4 and then the CGI mask. I would just have them in a complete F tier.
I can't believe you guys didn't think that deserved S tier.
I sincerely can't be bothered with the CG mask. Just no. Let's just.
George Lucas
Throw it
came
in.
and made that model for the film.
Well, George Lucas has done better.
Listen. This is your tier list, so at the end of the day, you can move it up to S if you truly desire.
That's
He's just
true.
gonna sneak it.
Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah, there you go.
So
You see?
so let me fix the list here.
I'll pretend I did not see this. Oh no, it's distracting. Oh my god. Stop it. Oh, it's gone. It's ruined now.
What are you talking about? This is the right
ruined
choice.
now. So let's just put everything on D tier. This franchise just. Oh, I've had enough.
No. You gotta put the Halloween end mask in S tier too. Oh my god.
So this is the following. This is the tier list.
This is what we all came to, guys.
If you're just now tuning in, this
This is it. This is what we all agreed on.
After hours of us fighting and recollecting,
just let me fix it real quick, okay? There's clearly only one winner, okay?
dude, you're right. There's only one true winner here.
Yeah, and it's pretty obvious. And if anybody
Absolutely.
disagrees, then they're not real fans.
Absolutely. You see, only a master like George Lucas could bring us an S tier mask like this. You can clearly see he drew inspiration from Star Wars on this one, as that clearly looks like Palpatine. You know, that's just, it's the perfect mask. Michael looks great. It could have never been better. That's absolutely S tier. In fact, S++ for me.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video. Make sure to just let me know down below in the comments. And thank you for watching.
And if you dislike the video, also unsubscribe.
I don't care if you dislike this video. This is
Just fully commit. Delete your YouTube and just forget it.
this is my genuine opinion.
This is what you can expect. This is like the best it's gonna get.
we got this glory of a masterpiece for 6 seconds. Thank you, George Lucas.
Okay, that'll do for this video, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I apologize.
I think I went a little too far in some places.
I may have gone too far in a few places.